What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Bears. Well, actually, welcome to the first another Bears pregame show. I'm Ivan Vargas. It's Are you ready for some football? I've been, actually, to be honest with you, I was thinking about the old Hank Williams Jr. Theme song before I was playing it in my headphones. So I was trying to get pumped up for today's game. But welcome back, everybody. Nonetheless, please, before we get started, like, share, and subscribe to the Tape Never Lies Network. We're going to have content tonight after I get off, after I'm done with the pregame. Obviously, we have the halftime show for the patrons. Please go ahead and subscribe. www.thetapeneverlies.com. Become a patron. Go check out the halftime show. They have, Shane and Phil are going to tear it up. And obviously, BHL right after the game, same duo, the same dynamic duo with Phil and Shane are going to go ahead and kick it off and give you all the best Bears content you want. But let's go ahead and dive into this, man. I'm pumped up for this game. I going to go ahead and tell you what, if you checked out Tuesday's show, I don't feel as confident as a lot of people seem with the Bears. I still feel like the Bears fall short in this one. I'll go ahead and get to my final a little later if you guys missed it. But I think the Bears can do a lot of good in this game. And if they end up proving me wrong, they prove me wrong. The Bears win. That's what I want. That's what everybody wants here. So for me, I'm looking for the Bears to come out hot, right? And what does that entail? I think that entails what they were doing best with Justin Fields prior to the injury and even after the injury. And that's a lot of heavier formations, a lot of play action, a lot of moving the pocket, a lot of, sometimes it's Justin on the run. You know how I feel about those design runs. 18 isn't sustainable. I don't expect 18 runs from Justin Fields, but we'll see. We'll see as the game goes along. I think the perfect spot is about 7 to 10 rushes from Justin Fields, because if you're going to force it on him, if it's just Justin trying to scramble, hey, shit happens. But if you're going to go ahead and design these runs, 7 to 10 runs with Justin is my ideal target to go ahead and use for him this game. But for me, it's really how Justin adjusts to this blitz. We saw what happened the last game. Brian Flores, relentless with his blitz. Justin, first play of the game, gets sacked. Doesn't recognize that he has an odd man on the left side of the line. He just doesn't call it out, doesn't see it, doesn't recognize it. But I think, beyond that, it's also the coaching staff to understand maybe this isn't the best spot to put our quarterback with a team that's so aggressive in their defensive blitz. And it's not saying that, hey, it's not all on Justin or it's all on Getsy. It's on the both of them to recognize this, right? You have at a certain point, this finger pointing, it's whether it's right or wrong on the team, you can't acknowledge it. So if Justin is frustrated, or if they're kind of like frustrated by the outside noise, they need to understand that that's just something you have to that comes with a losing record and comes with playing in the city of Chicago with such a fan base we're hungry for a winner. We're hungry for a winner. So, understanding that both of them need to be better in those situations, I'm looking for the Bears to start off heavy, utilize the run game. Khalil Herbert's back. Roschon Johnson's here. I think they have Travis Homer as their third, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to go back and check. But continue to utilize the running game with Justin, with your running backs. Use the play action, and I think you could find some success. I just don't think lining up in spread formation, empty sets, with no protection back there, no chip on the edge on Danielle Hunter, those things like that are going to get you in trouble. Things like that. If you forget to go ahead and cross your T's and dot your I's with the details of how your formations are, then the Vikings are going to kick your ass. Because we saw it. I mean, we saw it the last game. They were very sloppy. And not only in the last Vikings Bears game, but pretty much in every single game after that and before that. there's always something that's like, why is this not? Why don't you have a fullback in your backfield? Why is your fullback spread wide? Why isn't your running back next to your quarterback when you're sending him out into the flat, or sending him on a route? Like, there's certain things. Why isn't your running back next to your quarterback when you know it's a passing situation and they're showing blitz? Like, there's certain things that the Bears and the offense doesn't do that frustrates the shit out of you and only kicks themselves in the ass. It's only shooting themselves in the foot. So if they could correct those little flaws, I think it'll be beneficial to them. Like I said, come out heavy formations, come out running the ball, moving Justin Fields, getting him going, getting him left, getting him right, moving that defense left to right too, because the part of it is, and the Bears are top 10 in rushing, getting that defense on the move and then catching them off guard, getting them over pursuing, catching them off guard, getting them when you got to wear down this blitz. And then later on in the game, hopefully we could see a deep bomb or two, or maybe we see a DJ Moore 2-3 broken tackle play where he takes it, a good distance. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see how Justin and this team responds after a very, very ugly loss. What's up, everybody? Let me go ahead and get into these comments. I know I'm like talking everybody's ear off, but let's go ahead. Kevin, what's up? Bear down. Sean, TTNL, what's up, TTNL family? We're here, bro. We here. We out here. Hey, man, like I said, I'm not negative. Like, I see this as a Bears loss strictly because of the coaching staff and what we saw last week, what we saw in Denver, what we've seen last year in 1-score games, 1-7 in 1-score games. They still haven't fixed that problem. So for me, I see it as a 1-score game going the other way to Minnesota. It's not unfathomable to think that the Bears can play really well and still lose because of decisions made by the people that are in charge. So for me, like I said, I'm looking for positives in this game. I think the defense could take a step. We're going to be without Tyreek Stevenson. Let me go ahead and get into a little bit of an injury report. Tyreek Stevenson, Larry Borum, and Deontay Foreman, as everybody knows and everybody has been saying in the chat, are out. They were ruled out rather recently. I forgot exactly when, but they're ruled out. I think it was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, or earlier today. But they won't be playing. Deontay Foreman, obviously the big blow to that offense. He is the number one running back in the room. The way he runs, the passion that he runs with, how he finishes runs is so important because he makes sure he punishes you at the end of it, right? He makes sure he punishes the D-back or the safety or the linebacker, whoever's trying to tackle him at the end of that run. He always tries to make sure you're going to feel him if you're going to tackle him. If you're going to bring me down, you're going to make sure that you had to bring me down. And that's something that you can't teach. That's something that's just, it's in the man, right? It's in the man to teach something like that. I think that Roschon Johnson might have that. I really do. I want to see a lot more from him. Like I said, he's one of the guys that I was very intrigued about out of the draft. So Roschon Johnson, I think, could be that replacement for him. We'll see. I really think that the Bears are going to really focus in on Khalil Herbert getting back. I could see a balance, but I wouldn't be surprised if Khalil Herbert has the lion's share of the carries, just for the simple fact that they're trying to get him more acclimated back into the offense, into playing football again, into getting hit, all that neat type of shit that you have to do once you're, off IR and back into playing. So Daniel Perez, aloha TTNL family from Honolulu. Aloha, bro. I hope you're all right out there. I'm sure it's nice and sunny. Today in Chicago, it was very, very cold, and it had spurts of some snow coming down, some flurries. Sometimes it was a little bit heavier, but nothing that you have to worry about, nothing that I got to go shovel. So that's a good thing. Ivan, keep it real. Yes, sir. Steph, Appreciate you. Appreciate the love. Yeah, let's see. What was this? Bears 24, Vikings 30 with another fourth quarter collapse. Sean Hall. That's a bold prediction. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. We've seen it twice already this season. But let me go ahead and stop. Let's go ahead and kind of dissect that, right? As far as the coaching staff is concerned, we've had two complete collapses in games that we should have won, games that were well in hand, and I think one or two plays or one or two decisions could have tipped that, but it goes deeper. It goes well more than just one or two plays. If that happens again tonight, where the Bears have a lead, they're playing well, Justin's playing well, the offensive line is playing well, we don't have these crazy complaints, the turnovers are limited, and we still lose this game. With everything that's gone on in the NFL recently, and I want to go ahead and hone in on that firing of Coach Reich in Carolina. Why not? What are we waiting for? What is the difference between firing him now and firing him at the end of the season? A couple more losses, a couple more embarrassing losses, some more terrible fucking post-game press conferences, terrible interviews. Like, what is the point of keeping Coach Eberflus around if they were to collapse like they did last week, like they did in Denver, like they've done a few times last year as well? So what is keeping this team from really pulling the trigger would be my question if they were to lose this game like that. If they were to lose this game in a blowout, I would even say. What is keeping them from making that move? Because clearly Kevin Warren has an idea in his mind. Clearly there's a flame has sparked in Kevin Warren's heart that has made him interested in getting on the football side of things and being involved because of, I guarantee you, possibly what we've seen time and time again: incompetence in management, incompetence in coaching, incompetence in developing players and putting them in positions to win, right? Focusing on things outside of winning football games is what has plagued this franchise for a long time. For a long time. I think this game can be won by the Bears. I really do. But you're asking, you're asking these coaches and you're asking this philosophy to change as it's being, stubborn, right? You're asking it to change, but it's stubborn as hell, and it won't even allow itself to be critiqued, right? And it's pretty much comes to the coach. It's his philosophy, it's his ideas, it's his play calling now after they fired, Alan Williams, your defensive coordinator. And even with Alan Williams, the defense was garbage. It's not any better. I mean, it's better. There's been better play calls. I think Eberflus is a good defensive coordinator. He's not a great defensive coordinator, but I think he's good enough to put guys in better positions than Alan Williams. But nonetheless, like, it hasn't been winning football good because these collapses in the fourth quarter of games. You have to put a stop. You have to put your foot down at a certain point. And if you're preaching to us, and I really want to emphasize George McCaskey, if you're preaching change, and if you're wanting change, and if you're talking about change, well, sometimes you have to make the hard choice and make a change right here and right now that it probably won't sit well with some people. Probably will make some people unhappy. But if that is done, I feel like this team can finally take a step forward. Because I just feel like right now we're in a purgatory where it's like, we're building a team. You can't really put pressure on them. But at a certain point, you're 6, 7, 8 games into your NFL career as rookies. You're in your second year, seven games into your second year as second year players. All these guys are becoming professional football players, learning how to become professional football players. You can't keep making excuses for them. You can't keep making excuses for them. And yes, players have to execute, but decisions that I've seen, and some of my colleagues on this network have seen, have come down to coaching. It's come down to coaching. All right. And yes, like I said, there's been plays where Justin could have been better, receivers could have been better, routes could have been ran better, blocking could have been better. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to winning football games, the decisions that are made are on the coaches. So I don't know. I like I said, I don't see the game. I don't see the game. What does I say? I think you're talking about a whole lot of shit. What you think I'm talking shit, Keys guy? I don't know what that means. But anyway, like I said, I think it comes down to clearing house, finding out what Justin is with some other coaches. That would be my best bet. If Justin plays his ass off, I would say 200 plus yards, 50 yards plus rushing, a touchdown. That's what you want. Like that's what you're aiming for. Like that's growth, that's progression, that's consistency. If he could do it in back-to-back games, and especially against a team that he lost against earlier in the season. So for me, Justin Fields is my main focus today. The coaching staff really doesn't, I where I stand. I know where a lot of you stand. I just don't see how keeping them around benefits the football team in the present, the future, and it'll be politically motivated if that were the case. And we all know about the politics of the Chicago Bears. We've seen it. Performance over politics is one of the themes Phil has created here, and it's true. Performance over politics over anything. Like it's you can't have suit decisions being made for on-field play, right? You can't have that. So for me, let's see how the rest of the season goes for Justin Fields. Move on from these coaches and really start to add this upcoming draft, because we have a lot of positives in our back pocket. It's just we're not seeing the fruits of the labor, or whatever labor there is, out on the football field. It's an embarrassment. When it comes down to Herbert and Johnson, like I said, I hope Johnson gets it. Herbert is a guy that, you want to see be as explosive as he was prior to the injury. And I know it was just like a high ankle sprain, but if he's not 100%, I hope they recognize that right away and they start leaning on Johnson. Now that's all I'm going to say on the matter, but he's coming off an ankle injury that we all saw that was not great. And sometimes those things can linger for a bit. I know he's with professional, health personnel, but let's see how it plays out. That's probably a combination that I would go ahead and keep an eye on throughout the game. But heavy formations are the key to winning this football game. I want to see Justin Fields under center. I want to see, and if it's not under center, you got to have a tight end and a running back in the backfield if you're going to go ahead and try to play out of the shotgun continuously. I think, max protect at all costs with this blitz that's going to come from all sides. It's not something that you can just say, all right, we know what they're going to do. We recognize this before. No, I believe Brian Flores is one of the better defensive coordinators in the league. I mean, he had a head coaching job for a reason. I know there's a lot of drama behind it, but the guy he's a good football coach. Like he can coach up a defense. Offense might be a different story. Defense, he could do the job. So for me, let's see how they could slow down this blitz. Let's see how you put your players in position to win this game, because Last game, the way that they started was not good. And another 10-day plus break where you weren't prepared coming out of the gate. And we've seen some drives in this season where the Bears first drive, boom, out the gate, score a touchdown. We saw it last game. We saw it in Denver. I believe we actually saw it against Minnesota that first game, if I'm not mistaken. No, actually, I'm sorry. No, not Minnesota. Washington, Washington, uh, in that blowout on Thursday night. But if they could go and understand that simplifying the offense could actually benefit them, a step back could actually be a step forward. I think, and I know it sounds crazy, but like just dialing it down a bit could actually open things up and really allow your quarterback to play a little more free, right? If he's not thinking about a lot of, thinking about too much, if he's, you know, not trying to overthink, then he plays at his best on the move, see it, let it rip. Uh, even that throw, and I mentioned I didn't like. Well, not that I didn't like it. It was a he read it. It was great. If it was Darnell Mooney, I think you have a touchdown. But you went and trusted a rookie, and a rookie that hasn't really proven anything except that he's kind of fast, but had a fumble, missed on that ball there. I guess he slowed down, thought he was going to be able to corral it. Justin put a little more zip on it. It was a good throw by Justin because running right through it goes to the end zone. But why don't you trust DJ Moore underneath, who was wide open with one guy, and he just broke about 4 tackles earlier in the game to get a first down, and the pass was shorter than where he was on the last play. But nonetheless, right? I don't want to go ahead and nitpick. Some of the things like that, those little things need to be corrected. Those little things need to be understood in the key moments of the game. Playmakers need to have the ball in the key moments of the game, period. So look for a DJ Moore, look for a Justin Fields. I guarantee you they will go for more fourth downs in this game than in prior games, but we'll see. I actually have an interview for you guys. It's from ESPN 1000. Last week's loss and what he's expecting for this week. So let me go ahead and bring it up. This is Ryan Poles from ESPN 1000 around the 5 o'clock hour.
All right, thanks, Mark. Here with Bears General Manager Ryan Poles. Let's look back to the loss in Detroit. Hope Thanksgiving was great, by the way.
Yeah, great Thanksgiving.
Painful way to lose the game. How did you evaluate the outcome?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Hurt for a long time. When you look for the positive things, you look at the first 55, 56 minutes. That team that played for those 56, 57 minutes was what I know we have in terms of talent, in terms of getting in a position to win games and beat good teams. But unfortunately, we didn't finish very well, and that's something we have to take the next step. But we got to know when to finish the team off and be able to enjoy that moment and then build off of that and show consistency. So a lot of good things happened in that game. Just disappointed how we finished.
I read a quote. Brisker says it's 90% mental finishing games, 10% physical. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I think that's a part of it. It's having the attitude of on every level of taking it away from a team rather than just kind of hoping and wishing that it just happens. You have to have a finishing mentality across the board for our entire staff and our entire team. So we got to take accountability for that and learn from it and finish strong, and especially tonight.
All right, Justin Fields' return, a very good one. How he was used, the decisions he made. Is this the template for Justin for the rest of the season? Was this exactly what you'd like to see as a general manager?
Yeah, I was proud of him. He affected the game in many different ways. Obviously, he's special with his feet and running, but his ability to really press the line of scrimmage and use his arm and throw the ball to create explosives was was huge. So look forward to him doing that tonight and getting us in a position to win.
He came to the podium this week and says he feels the best thing he does is throw the deep ball. Is that the kind of confidence you need to hear from your starting quarterback?
Yeah, you want to have confidence that you can strike from anywhere on the field, and I know he has that. And again, if we can see that consistently, we're going to be in a good position to win games.
This may fall flat for fans or media when I make this statement, but there are signs that this team is certainly better than its record, and one offensive improvement. I mean, one of 4 teams in the league, top 10 in rushing offense, third down percentage, red zone, number 5. That's company with the Ravens, Eagles, and 49ers, all really good football teams, as you know. Am I off base on that?
No, I think what you're seeing is the talent on the team, and there's parts of our game that we're really good at. It's really pulling all of those things together and doing it consistently to win football games. And unfortunately in this league, you are what your record is. So we have to be able to get over the hump and win games, and then we can look at those.
See, now this is where you have to call them out, right? You keep talking about finishing, you keep talking about having consistency and number. Well, at a certain point, Ryan, if it's not consistent and it's continuing to show you that there is no progression, that you can't get over the hump, you're going to have to step up and make a decision. Probably a decision you're not going to like, because you really like who Matt Eberflus is as a person, as a coach for that matter. But you're not going to go ahead and have that loyalty to a fault where you lose your job. Like, you can't do that, bro, because I really believe that they want to keep Ryan Poles in the position he's in, but he doesn't want to give that ground up, right? That control up, where it's like, this is my team. I'm making the decisions, right, wrong, or indifferent. Yeah, we have a president now, but I want to go ahead and do it my way. I feel like Ryan Poles will survive, but Ryan Poles will only survive because they feel comfortable with some of the decisions he's made, and they don't fully want Kevin Warren to be involved in football operations, right? They don't want Kevin Warren to be totally involved in what's going on the field. I think he wants to have a little more advisement, maybe a say on who the coach is coming in, but I don't think that you're going to see Kevin Warren just fully take over personnel duties, because he has so much on his plate already with running helping run the franchise, helping figure out what's going on with the stadium plan, and so on and so forth with this team. So, hopefully they've understood and they learned something from that loss, or tried to, come together, at practice, after the game in the locker room, or whatever the hell they had to do to come together and understand that the end of the game is the time you have to go ahead and give your all. Because I don't feel like a lot of these guys, I'm not going to say that they don't give their all, but I feel like a lot of these guys are at least tired, because you're not able to score a lot of points. Like, we've seen it a bunch of times where defense is playing great, the offense is playing shitty. They're not able to score a lot of points. The defense is constantly on the field, and at the end of games, the offense for the other team just takes over, and you're not seeing stops. You're not seeing turnovers. The offense and the defense, and we talked about complementary football, they both have to be in sync. What does that entail? Defense needs to generate pressure against Dobbs. Be aware of Dobbs' mobility. He can get outside the pocket. He can beat you with his arm. I mean, I'm not saying he's a world beater, but he can beat you with his arm. He has playmakers out there, although there will be no Justin Jefferson. That's a positive for the Bears. He can find more. He can find his open guys. He'll have a guy like Addison. He'll have a guy like Hawkinson. Madison his running back is actually played pretty well. They're not a great running football team, but he is the bell cow, and he has been having himself a solid year. It's is he going to be a top 10 rusher at the end? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with him at the end of the year, but so far he's done a solid job for them. He's somebody that they could find in the passing game as well. So generate pressure on Dobbs, getting him, flustered, getting him hit, putting him on the ground, getting some sacks. I need to see that from this defensive front, especially since you're going to have a guy like Stevenson out in the secondary. We saw some of the flaws that are in the back end. I've talked about how I want to see a safety drafted in this upcoming season, upcoming NFL draft. If you can go ahead and generate pressure on Dobbs and the Vikings tonight, I think that can solve your problem on the back end, at least enough, at least for one game, to where you could potentially eke out a victory. With the offense, you got to start moving bodies. You got to start moving bodies. Too many times in that last game, I saw purple, pushing forward, and blue and orange getting pushed back. Too many times that I see guys coming free, trying to get a lick on Justin Fields or Tyson Bagent, whoever it was. So the offensive line, huge. Justin Fields is even bigger because, we talked about it before. Spotlight's on him. Show's on you, kid. What can you do within these next 6 games that'll prove to this front office, really to Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles, that they should keep you? That it might not have been you. It might have been the coaching. What can you do in this game? Limit the turnovers, like I'd mentioned. Find your open man. Trust your running backs in the flat, your outlets, because sometimes it's just not there. And I know Justin wants to succeed. He wants to be I'm sure he wants to be the best. Like, if you don't want to be the best, what the hell you're playing? Why are you playing? But sometimes he has to recognize that it's just not there. Hit the dump. Live the fight another day. All right, guys. I want to go and move over to some of the things that I feel like the Bears will have success in. I think they will get DJ Moore some more targets. I feel like DJ is going to see 10 plus targets and, potentially catch that about that the same way. You got to get your playmaker the ball. I talked about it before. You paid too much money for him, or you invested too much money on him to not be getting him the ball. Last week he had, I believe, 9 catches, or 9 targets, 7 catches. I would like to see a little bit of an increase on that. If you're looking on the defensive side, Montez Sweat needs to be on the football field in those critical situations. He needs to be out there. I don't care about resting guys. If we need you now and you're our star, you're our playmaker, you need to suck up whatever BS, whatever tired, whatever, sore that you have on you. You need to suck that shit up and go out there and make a play. Go out there and make a play. And for the coaches, if you can't recognize that, then we're even in more trouble than I thought. Because Montez Sweat should have been out there on that last drive for the Detroit Lions last week. Grumpy Bear, thank you for the donation, bro. The way the Michigan players played for Harbaugh, totally awesome. That's how you step up. What a team. Yeah, and I want Jim Harbaugh as our head coach. It's the guy has a love for the game, a passion for the game, a passion for this franchise that we won't find in any other coach, right? I talked last week about how I want people made fun of biting kneecaps and Dan Campbell and how they were operating, how he came in to Detroit. Look where they are now. And yeah, their defense is struggling, but look where they are now as a franchise. it's 10 times better the position that the Bears are in my opinion, because you have a culture that wants to win. You have a culture that's not going to accept excuses as an answer. So for me, Jim Harbaugh or bust. If he's the head coach, I think we go ahead and we really make some noise come next year. I think it could be a quick turnaround with a guy like Jim Harbaugh. Was it say 100% Ivan? No way Sweat have been off the field at the end of the game. Yeah, that's just why did we trade for him? What was the point of trading for him? What was the reason? He needs to be out there. No excuses, in my opinion. Ken Vance, I got a shot of 101 Wild Turkey. Bacardi rum, 151 equals 252. Keep you warm all the way down to your soul, man. Good luck with that, Ken. I got a couple old styles right here that I'm just going to go ahead and sip on and watch the game with. But, yeah, I'm going to stay away from the 151 and the Wild Turkey tonight. Got to be able to talk the rest of the way through. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and wrap things up. I want to go ahead and use the bathroom and relax before the game. My prediction, like I had said on Tuesday, Vikings 27, Bears 21, 6-point difference. I just think the Vikings, the way that they're coached and the way that we're coached, I think that's the difference. And it's been the difference in a lot of these games. So, don't come at me. Don't come at me. I like I said, I don't mind being wrong, but I'm not going to give you some BS and just pick with my heart. There was only one time I told you I would do that, the first episode, and that's it. The rest of the time will be at least a somewhat logical decision and explanation on why I picked my score. Let's see, Logan Frost, Bears 28, Queens 27. John Taylor 27-17, Queens. Let's see. Oh, Justin leads his first game-winning drive. Okay. I would love to see that. There's been plenty of opportunities for him to have his first game-winning drive. We just need to see it through. Let's see, Patron Steve here. Kevin Warren needs to get his shit together, fix his coaching staff. Panthers cleaned their house today. Bears next? I would say so. Like I said, if they fall in a blowout or if they fall in a collapse like they did last week, there's no excuse. And there should be, pardon the, expression, but there should be people at the gates, torches and pitchforks at the gates of Hallis Hall demanding that these people be gone, because other than Justin Fields having to play the rest of the season out, what is the importance of keeping them around if they can't even make the correct decisions out on the football field? Cuthbert, Getsy has to go. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, it's not all on them, but it falls to you. It falls to the coaches at the end of the day. You don't have your team prepared. Your team's not executing because you don't have your team prepared to play on Sunday. That's how I see it. It's how I see it. Sean, Bears 13, Vikings 17. Muck 21-17, Bears. Ray Rojas 17-14, Queens. Let's see. McCall, Bears 28, Vikings 17. Yeah, head should roll. Head should roll, Sean. If that's the case tonight, head should roll. Richard, I have no prediction. Like I said, I feel like we win either way. Win the game, great Monday night. We lose, it's one step closer to the change we need. Yeah, a lot of people have expressed that same sentiment. We lose. Yeah, okay, we lose. I'm not going to beat – you're not going to beat yourself up about it. We win, awesome. We could go into Tuesday happy that we beat the Vikings and, Justin looked good or whatever, the Bears look good. We could at least say we won this week. It's a shitty position to be in with a football team, especially a team that you love, we all love, like the Chicago Bears. You don't want them to lose. You don't want to think like that. Like, man, if they lose, all right, well, oh well, it's kind of the reality that we've been put in by the franchise that we love. Like I said, an abusive relationship. And I know a lot of people have put that out there, but we have an abusive relationship with the Chicago Bears. Oh, excuse me. And it's not, it hasn't gotten any better at any point in my life. A little bit, well, actually, forgive me. With the Lovey team, Urlacher, Briggs, Olin, that team in the early 2000s, yes, I thought we were going to develop into a perennial winner again. Made some mistakes afterwards, and here we are. But nonetheless, Lucas 35-10 Bears dump these losers. 28-24 Bears. Komet gets 2 tutties. Space Cadet. Actually, Komet is my X factor today for the Chicago Bears. I'm glad you brought that up. I think if Cole Komet can continue his progression that we've seen this year, he's had a game where he's caught 10 passes, 10 out of 10. He's had a game where he's caught 5 out of 5. Been involved in the red zone with a touchdown. You've seen him be active, but if Cole Komet takes a step tonight, and I think tonight could be the night for him to really take a step forward as a reliable tight end. I don't want to call him a reliable playmaking tight end, but as a reliable target for a Justin Fields or whoever's back there, I think the Bears can really have the Vikings really put the fire to the Vikings backside. But we'll see what happens. DeLeon, Vikings 30, Bears 21. Muck very abusive. Tina level. Yeah, it's getting there, definitely. Avalos, Bears 28, Vikings 21. Year 0. What up, bro? Yeah. All right. So it seems like we got a kind of a split here with the predictions tonight. A lot of Bears, a lot of Vikings. And I think, like I said, I'm not going to hold it against anybody because this is the reality we're in. An untrusting relationship with the Chicago Bears, and we can't get enough of it. We can't get enough of this team because we love them. We want them to win. We want them to succeed. But we keep coming back to the same abuse year in and year out. When will the hammer drop? When will it finally be enough? Hopefully Kevin Warren has a plan. Hopefully he and his wanting to be more involved on the football side of things is a sign of change to come and a new day for the Chicago Bears. Guys, I'm Ivan Vargas. About 15 minutes to 7 before things really start getting going for the Chicago Bears against the Minnesota Vikings. Make sure you go ahead. If you haven't done it yet, make sure you go to www.thetapeneverlies.com, become a patron, check out the halftime show with the dynamic duo of Phil and Shane. It's going to be a great show. Obviously, you have BHL right after. So get twofer, get a double. They get you a daily double of Shane and Phil with the halftime show on the Patreon channel. And, of course, BHL right here on YouTube. Guys, I got to go. I'm really pumped for this game. I'm going to go get everything ready. I got some snacks up there. Got to get my chips going. Got to get a couple more beers. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Bears have a great game. We will see. If not, heads should roll. I'm Ivan Vargas, guys. This has been another Bears pregame show. Peace.